Hey, look, I've seen hundreds of business budgets. Want to know a dirty secret? Most of them are complete garbage. Not because they're wrong, don't get me wrong, but because they're impossible to actually follow. Hi, I'm Nathan, Balancer Bookkeeping, and today I'm going to show you how to create a budget that actually works in the real world, not just on paper. If you're a contractor, consultant, or service provider, you know the struggle. Your income bounces around like a pinball machine. Your expenses seem to multiply overnight. And that budget you made 3 months ago? Yeah, it's collecting digital dust somewhere. But here's the thing. Budgeting for irregular income isn't impossible. It just requires a completely different approach than what you learned in business school. Let me tell you about Sarah. She came into me last year, frustrated because she tried budgeting 5 different times. Each time she'd create this beautiful spreadsheet with perfect categories and exact amounts. And each time reality would slap her in the face by month 2. We all know that one. So here's why traditional budgets fail for people like us. First, they assume steady income. But when you're running a service business, some months you are just having the best time of your life, while other months you're struggling. Second, they're too rigid. Life happens. Equipment breaks. Clients pay late. A rigid budget becomes a source of stress, not clarity. Third, they focus on perfection instead of progress. One budget violation, and people throw the whole thing out the window. So here's what actually works. I call it the flexible foundation approach. Think of it like building a house. You need a solid foundation, but the rooms inside can be rearranged. First, calculate your absolute survival number, not your ideal number. Your if everything goes wrong number. Add up. Essential business expenses, rent, software, minimum marketing, personal survival costs, mortgage, food, insurance, emergency buffer, at least 1,000. This is your foundation. Everything else is flexible. Instead of budgeting exact amounts, create these 3 buckets. The foundation bucket, your survival number. Your growth bucket, 30% of anything above survival. The reward bucket, 20% of anything above survival. And then the remaining 50%, that's your operating buffer for the unpredictable stuff. Create simple rules, not complex categories. If income hits foundation level, pay essentials only. If income hits 125% of foundation, add growth investments. If income hits 150% of foundation, add rewards and fun stuff. Simple, clear, not 47 different expense categories to track. Now, tracking. Forget complicated software. Here's what I use with me and my clients. One simple question every week. Are we on track? Is our foundation number this month? If yes, great. If no, what needs to adjust? I actually have a free expense tracker that makes this super simple, and I'll link it below. But the key is keeping it simple enough that you'll actually use it. Every Friday, 5 minutes, check in. How much came in this week? How much went out? Are we trending toward foundation, growth, or reward levels? What adjustments do we need to make next week? And here's the thing. Here's the beauty of the system. When life happens, and trust me, it will, you don't throw out the whole budget. You just adjust equipment breaks. It comes out of the buffer first. Then you temporarily scale back to foundation level until you rebuild. Big clients pays late. You know exactly where you stand and what you can cut temporarily. amazing month with unexpected income, you know exactly how much goes to growth, how much to rewards, and how much to rebuild that buffer. Look, budgeting for your regular income isn't about perfect predictions. It's about having a system that bends without breaking. Now, you probably noticed I mentioned that emergency buffer a few times. Is that 1,000 minimum in your foundation? But here's the thing. Most business advice tells you to save 3 to 6 months of expenses. That's terrible advice for people with irregular income. Next week, I'm breaking down exactly how much you should really have in your business emergency fund. I'm going to show you why that additional advice could actually put you out of business. It's not what you think. But first, if you're tired of budgets that work in theory but fail in practice, grab my expense tracker. It's designed specifically for people with unpredictable income, and it will help you implement everything we talked about today. And if your books are already a mess and you need help getting back on track, that's literally what I do every day. Links in the description. What's your biggest budget challenge? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one, and often I turn them into future videos. If this helped, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I post new videos every week to help contractors and consultants get their finances under control so they can focus on what they do best. So thanks for watching, and remember, your budget should work for your life, not the other way around. Make sure you subscribe because next week's video is about emergency funds. Could save your business. So I'll see you then.